Big news at the Mahindra Futurescape event in South Africa is the unveiling of the Thar.e concept. Now, this is a design concept, and that's why we're going to do a design walk around. And who better to show us around this new Thar than Pratap Bose, head of design at Mahindra. Pratap and his team at Europe, in the UK as well as in India, have been behind the Thar. So in this video, we're going to talk about the interesting design cues, stuff that I probably would not notice, which Pratap will bring to our attention. Also, your top 5 design features on the Thar.e. But Pratap, we should start with what's the inspiration behind it? You obviously have the Thar. The Thar has got a huge legacy. What is the inspiration behind the Thar.e?
Look, like you said, I think Thar is so core to our company as a brand. It felt somewhere to me and the design team that, the electrification story is not complete till you don't have a Thar.e. So I think that itself was the genesis of why we even looked at the Thar, right? Because we did 2 XUVs, last year. We did a new brand launch called B, 5 cars under those 2 brands. But I felt, that it's such an important point in our history as a company that we bring a new electric Thar to the world. We've got the architecture, we've got now much more knowledge around how to design and engineer EVs, so it just felt right.
We all started at a full house, ended up just me and good old James.
So the Thar, combustion engine Thar, it has been clearly inspired by the CJ3B, right? That's the history of Mahindra also. That's where Mahindra started off. Where does this come from?
So this comes from the mind of the designers. And like you said, the CJ, I see this as the first, as a seed of all electric Thars going forward for the next 30, 40, 50 years. So when our design team in 20 or 30 years look back, because it'll be probably an electric world, they should start with this product.
Will this face, now this is very different from the Thar that we have now.
Sure.
Will this face inform the 5-door combustion engine Thar that is coming soon?
Not really. As you know, Sirish, the requirements for ICE in terms of cooling and all of that are quite significantly different from the ICE world and EV world, and we really want to make that distinction. People love the Thar ICE for what it is, and we want people to love the Thar.e for what it is and what it represents.
The proportions, like for instance, I'm standing next to it, and this is high. This is much higher than the Thar that we know.
Yeah.
Will this actually make it to production? Why does it need to be this high?
So, as you probably saw in the film, this will be a huge frunk.
Okay.
In fact, it'll be in some of our release images.
Okay.
This area in the front is a massive frunk, and we feel that's important.
Okay.
Because that's the kind of Thar customer we see today. They carry a lot of gear.
Yeah.
And we feel a lot of gear will fit into this frunk. Of course, visually, having a horizontal hood is part of the DNA of SUVs and the Thar. So obviously, we've kept a nice horizontal hood, very short, bluff front overhang.
Yes,
Again, INGLO allows us to do that because the crash paths are different.
Yeah.
Coming back to your question about the face inspiring the ICE. The ICE just has totally different geometry, physics, everything. And then what I really truly like is the intelligence that the designers have used in some of the component design. So you have one lamp, for example, which is left and right and rear and front.
So the same lamp,
the same
is
module
used at the back.
The same module.
Okay.
The same bumper is in the front and the back.
So the same bumper front as well as the back.
The same fender goes to the other corner and back. The side sill and the step are exactly the same. So there's a kind of design thinking which is beyond styling. It's about intelligence, it's about modularity, the slight product design approach. Very clean, flat surfaces, easy to hose down, easy to wipe down. You don't have all these flicks and light catchers and all of that. Why? Because we expect that people will take this off-road as well.
True.
We want people to do that.
You are a big fan of minimalism, reductionism. Point out some areas where that has been incorporated.
So like I said, one was here itself, then the way that we've treated the shut line for the front to open, the handle is hidden.
Oh, okay, so the handle's here.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's those small things that you sort of hide away, that little details that you do.
But you've got a bit of heritage also, right? You got the clasp.
We've got a
for the
clasp
bonnet. So
to-
that comes from the earlier era,
Yeah.
but obviously it is now flush for the electrified era.
That's right. It's a nod. It's a nod to some of those few elements around the Thar itself. But yeah, it's a frunk. It needs a lock, and that's how we do it.
All right.
Fou, je te ferai des ragoûts, tu verras ça déchire.
Pratap, now this is obviously not a ladder frame. It's based on the INGLO platform. When Velu talked about the engineering, he talked about having it very good ground clearance, approach angles, departure angles.
Yeah.
How have you incorporated this INGLO platform into your design?
So what you see here in the grey sill area is actually where the battery pack kind of would be, in the rest of the car. And then we've jacked it all up to give it the kind of ground clearance that we need. And because this car should look capable, it should be able to do what it says it can do. And so the stance, Sirish, is fundamental to car design as a whole. And each car has a different stance. As you know, a sports car will have a different stance. It's stuck to the ground. SUVs are a different
A nice
breed.
big butch.
Yeah.
In your face.
In your face. And you should, like I said, electric or not, a Thar should never, you should never feel afraid in a Thar to go where you want to go. You should, if you see a little side road, which is a kacha road,
Yeah.
you happen to be in a Thar Ice or a Thar.e, you will hit that road.
True.
Without any apprehension.
You also have cool details like these wing mirrors. Now these are digital mirrors.
Cameras, yeah.
They're cameras out here. Will this make production?
So cameras are legal in few countries today. Parts of Europe, the US, they're still not legal in India. But there's no reason why that when they do become sort of, certifiable
Yeah.
and legal, there's no reason why we can't have them.
Did you look at aerodynamics while designing this?
We look at aerodynamics in general, but I think for a lifestyle vehicle like this, which you make a heart over mind decision, and of course this is a concept, like we said, we haven't even put it through the whole process of development. But even if we did, we would take some decisions with the heart over the mind.
Now this is a 5-door.
Yeah.
Right? You've got your front door handles hidden in here.
Yeah.
And the rear door handles hidden
Yeah.
in the C-pillar. So you got these flush sides.
Clean.
But you
Yeah.
still have the hint of the exposed hinges. Which again comes from the heritage.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So like I said, it's an important sort of design detail. And like you see, there are some details which connect us to the brand Thar, and those are here. Of course, in a thoroughly modern interpretation.
You don't need to do that.
You don't need to do that.
But you have done it.
Yes, because it's a conscious decision to say that, look, this is a product. If something happens here, you take off the bolts
Yeah.
and the door comes
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
You should be able to do that. That philosophically shouldn't change.
And what's this? Is this for the
These
roof
are for the
rails?
roof racks. So
Okay.
you would
so
clip them
that's
in there.
integrated into it.
Into the, yeah.
And of course, you've got nice chunky tires. Any thoughts behind the design of the wheel?
The design of the wheel, going back to aerodynamics, I think wheels nowadays you'll see as a tendency, not only for design reasons but aerodynamics. They are much more flat. They are much more wheel cap-like, if you will, even if they're alloys, by the way. So we've come up with a wheel design which is somewhere between an alloy and a sort of hubcap, as we call it. And we just, we find it interesting. It's something that people will, it's iconic.
And will it be body color matched?
Yeah, and by the way, because it goes at the back,
Yeah.
on the fifth door,
Yeah.
it's very, very important for us to get that
Yeah,
right.
Of course. So Pratap, the lamps, the same lamps.
Yeah, so like I said, it's the same lamp module that we have in the front. Again, so intelligent in terms of at multiple levels.
Yeah,
For the customer, for the company, for dealers, for the entire supply chain. And it's green, as you said. We tool up one. There's lesser waste. All of that. Front bumper, rear bumper is the same. And like I said, the wheel design, we went for something really strong and iconic. That makes it the fifth wheel or the spare wheel is such a prominent part of the rear view of the car. It's not something hidden away under. So, you know, we really took the opportunity to design something iconic for the wheel.
And you've also got the school line out here, designed in Oxfordshire, made in India. The Thar right now has got that nice plate that says "Made in India with pride."
Yeah.
How are you going to reinterpret that?
So that's it. So for us, it's, you know, designed in Oxfordshire because obviously it's designed at MADE as a part of our story. Made in India, again, obvious for now, but designed for the world and made for the world. We really, truly, and this is why it's in Futurescapes and Go Global. We really think this can be our, you know, be a global product.
Yeah, I also like the nice detailing where you've got this bright red color for the toe hooks.
Yeah.
That's something that you want to make it to production?
Absolutely. Again, you know, this points out as an accent because you could be stuck in the middle of nowhere with no light, with none of that. You know, why not? Why not accentuate some of these details, which could be life-saving, by the way, in many cases. Here you can see, Sirish, on the side where the A pillar and the front fender is. In that space would go, you know, the charging gun, basically. You know, it's a nice, convenient place. It's not sort of hidden away. And again, I would like to take the opportunity in the side view to show how the Thar.e seems like it's sculpted from a block of steel. And you know, this is why, again, you know, some of the details are sort of hidden away or are clean. But if you see the whole thing, it looks like it's from one block. It's not like a collection of parts.
Now, I know that Jerry McGovern, he's one of your design icons and inspirations. In the C-pillar, to me, it also has got a lot of Defender cues. Is that on purpose?
I mean, of course, it's not conscious or on purpose. But you know, there was no real. I mean, we've put that as a loading sort of area. You can put 45 kilos of load.
You can
on it.
hang
You can hang stuff on it. It's like a modular mesh.
Okay.
It repeats itself on the interior, actually, on the door trim.
Okay.
So we've just used it as a mesh, like a pegboard. You know, you can hang stuff on it.
That's intelligent design, right? You can just use the same. You don't need too many of accessories to actually then add luggage or other stuff onto
Right. That's right. The same with the, you know, the hooks on the cantrail. You just plug in the luggage carriers or the luggage rails or roof rails, and you're off. So,
Pratap, last question. Now, reimagining an icon, an Indian icon. We have very few icons in the country. The Thar is one of those icons. Reimagining that, what kind of pressure did that put on you?
Look, the people love the Thar, right?
Yeah.
When they saw when we launched the ICE Thar, they walked into dealerships with suitcases of money, of cash, saying that they want to drive away with one. You know, that's the kind of resonance the brand has. So yes, you know, you have to treat it with care, but that should never hold you back in imagining what the future can be. You know where it's come from, but it should never be a weight on the design team or on a company, indeed, that it sort of blocks your future. And now we've done this itself will become, hopefully, if we make it, an icon.
Yeah. Thank you, Pratap, and all the best. I love it. I think it looks really cool, and I wish you guys all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Daily courtesies.